Good evening, everyone. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Here is a look at some of today's top stories. Should the state government be able to intervene in local school districts? NTD hears from a board trustee to find out. The Barbie movie is still generating a lot of buzz, but audience and critics have split views on the film. Hollywood actors face a new problem as the strikes continue. Many are turning to the food bank after a day on the picket lines. How much control should parents and local leaders have over education? This is a big discussion as the Southern California School Board was unsatisfied with what the state is teaching children. NTD's David Lam speaks with the Temecula Valley School Board trustee. Here's the story.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Earlier this year, several board members with the Temecula Valley Unified School District rejected a state-approved curriculum, saying it's not age-appropriate for fourth graders. Newsom threatened to fine the district $1.5 million if it didn't approve the curriculum. Is there legal grounds for this? Well, the state superintendent, Tony Thurman, told reporters that there is a bill that would allow California to send books and fine the district over the issue if passed.
AB 1078 would actually establish this process, and that bill is being heard in the legislature, and it does have an urgency clause. And so we're waiting to see what happens with that bill. I would just say that we are currently investigating the Temecula Valley School District.
Temecula Valley Board President Joseph Komrosky and school trustee Jen Wiersma said the school ended up adopting the curriculum with modifications to avoid a lawsuit.
But at the end of the day, I think he really felt strongly that we wanted to be kept out of litigation and that we wanted to modify the curriculum. And that's the beauty of local control. So what we did is we adopted that 4-0.
Part of the curriculum covers the civil rights movement, mentioning groups and people who advocated for gay rights. Board members said they felt the topics were unsuitable for young children. Members also said parents had not been adequately consulted about the curriculum.
So because we're putting this into a subcommittee and teachers will rewrite that one particular module that was problematic, we'll also look at other aspects and see what more we can add to make it more beautiful and something more representative of our community.
Wiersma believes the statewide curriculum could improve by expanding its offerings and letting school boards maintain deciding when things are age appropriate.
There are only 4 or 5 that California has stamped as adopted, and I would love to see a more classical leaning with history. I think what people need to realize is social studies is often more along the lines of big ideas, and it can be more biased with social engineering. So my perspective as a trustee is that I would love to see history, people, places, events, things historically that can be looked upon versus some of the bigger social issues that are injected throughout the curriculum.
She hopes other school districts could also look into local control and have parents involved while teachers rewrite some aspects. In Santa Clara, California, David Lam, NTD News.
The Barbie movie is generating a lot of buzz due to the widespread curiosity surrounding the character's first ever live-action adaptation. NTD's Christina Corona finds out what moviegoers and critics have to say about one of the most talked about films of the year.
In recent months, the much-anticipated Barbie movie, directed by Greta Gerwig, created a whirlwind of excitement. When it hit the silver screen, the film had an outstanding opening week at the box office, setting new records for its remarkable success.
I'm pleased. I love movie-going, and I hope the world can step back up and enjoy going out to the movies, because we've missed that. You know, since the pandemic, we've lost so many theaters. And we've lost this powerful entertainment piece of going out amongst everybody. So I was so excited to see the insanity grow.
Moviegoers in Los Angeles also shared their thoughts.
I think that it's such like an icon, especially of people who are raised as girls from birth, that, you know, it's an icon of femininity for a lot of people.
I'm excited. I'm honestly excited. I grew up with Barbie. I told him, my mom was telling him this morning that all my Barbie dolls, all the collections, the princesses, the regular ones, I'm excited just to see how the reinterpretation of all of it is.
I do know it do take place in a fantasy world, and I feel like it's going to be a very fun and enjoying movie for families.
Following last week's release, research by Fountain.fm has revealed that California claims the third spot as the state most obsessed with Barbie, and Colorado taking first place based on almost 7 million related monthly Google searches this June. But some say the biggest stars of the film are not Margot Robbie or Ryan Gosling, but is the Barbie marketing team. According to Vox.com, the amount of Barbie film branded merch is pretty mind-numbing. You could build an entire closet out of them.
It's great to see everyone come out of the movie theaters wearing all pink, so it's obvious that the movie is doing so remarkably great.
Despite its stellar box office performance, not everyone adores the blockbuster fantasy comedy hit. The movie has been criticized by some as being anti-man. Some conservatives go as far as calling it man-hating. Billionaire Elon Musk took to Twitter and wrote, "If you take a shot every time Barbie says the word patriarchy, you will pass out before the movie ends." Some criticize that the suggestive language and sexual connotations contained in the movie are inappropriate even for children 13 and above.
Let's be honest here. It's Barbie, okay? Let's don't blow this thing out of proportion.
Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz and his wife went to the film in pink and posted this photo on Twitter, but Mrs. Gaetz had this to say afterwards. Thinking about watching the Barbie movie? I'd recommend sticking to getting outfit inspiration and skipping the theater. The 2023 Barbie movie, unfortunately, neglects to address any notion of faith or family and tries to normalize the idea that men and women can't collaborate positively. Yuck.
I'll be honest, I didn't really care, to be honest, when I first heard that they're making a movie. I thought it might be a little bit stupid, like just, what can they make a movie about at all? Like,
and my expectations are a little bit in between, in the middle. I'm disinterested.
The Barbie movie also provoked controversy in both Vietnam and the Philippines over its inclusion of the map that apparently features China's 9-dash line. The line marks China's claim to much of the disputed South China Sea.
It's so important to just stop with the politics. Let's bring everybody together. They've done such a good job at trying to put out representations of all cultures. You know, there used to be only one Barbie. Now you got all kind of Barbies.
The film received 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and has grossed over $495 million worldwide, becoming the sixth highest grossing film of 2023. This achievement marks the highest ever U.S. opening for a film directed by a woman. Christina Corona, NTD News, Los Angeles.
Some Hollywood actors have found themselves at the World Harvest Food Bank after spending time on the picket lines. NTD's Andrew Thomas has the latest.
Striking actor Nikita Kalame Harris was the voice of a young Nala in Disney's 1994 hit The Lion King. She was relieved when she discovered the World Harvest Food Bank was offering $300 worth of free groceries once a week.
Just the sound of mind, or the peace of mind to know, oh, if I'm running low, there's somewhere that has me, that has my back. So I can, little ease on that front in terms of not working and not even being able to audition, not even being able to do podcasts.
With a simple flash of a union card, members can pick up groceries. Actor Eric Reedy is thankful for the lifeline, given the uncertainty in Hollywood.
I feel like most people in Hollywood will tell you this entire year has been one of uncertainty. There's a lot of anxiety towards the future that people have, what with the conditions that SAG and WGA are fighting for, and they're not even coming close to achieving that.
World Harvest founder Glenn Corrado says members of the writers and actors unions can count on the food bank.
When I made this offer to SAG and WGA, it just really floored me, because people were coming in here and they didn't have money. Like, they're on the verge of losing their houses and their cars.
Actors went on strike on July 14th, and writers walked out on May 2nd. It's the first time both have stopped working in 63 years.
This is like a war against AI. This is a war for our livelihoods. This is me helping fuel the strikers as we fight for the future of our profession. Like we will become extinct if we do not win this strike, if we do not meet our demands.
Studios have had to halt productions across the United States and abroad. Both unions are asking studios for higher pay and guardrails around the use of artificial intelligence. Andrew Thomas, NTD News.
Be sure to stay hydrated, everyone. Energy providers issued emergency alerts as the prolonged high temperatures continue to bake California's valley regions.
On July 25th and 26th, the California Independent System Operator issued statewide alerts as the state experienced its third week of higher than average temperatures. Meteorologist Ryan Kittle told the Epoch Times that daytime temperatures were expected to reach 97 to 107 degrees in the valley, with beach areas being cooler, hovering in the 70s. According to the agency, no supply deficiencies are predicted, but the state faced a potential energy shortage this week. The agency encouraged utility customers to use generators or reduce usage. As a result of the extended heat wave, fire danger has increased, and the Weather Service encouraged anyone using anything that could cause a spark to be extra careful because of dry conditions. The heat dome is expected to start moving out by July 31st.
We're now taking a short break, everyone, but here's what we have for you when we come right back. San Jose police arrested 4 people connected to a series of robberies. The thieves has a pattern of crashing cars into shops. A family has been charged for recycling fraud. They reportedly took recycling bottles from Arizona to sell in California. And for those that aren't at Taylor Swift's concert this weekend, we have plenty of activities for you to enjoy. These stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today, everybody. I'm your host, David Zhang. San Jose police arrested 4 people in connection to a series of smoke shop robberies. The suspects had a similar pattern of crashing a stolen vehicle into a store before taking the merchandise.
The San Jose Police Department investigated over 10 commercial burglaries of smoke shop-type businesses from March through April this year. They arrested 25-year-old Jose Cabellos for being one of the primary suspects responsible for at least 8 commercial burglaries. In all of the burglaries, the suspects had a pattern of using stolen Kia or Hyundai model vehicles to collide with the exterior of businesses, causing significant damage to the entrance and structure. The suspects would then enter the businesses and steal merchandise before fleeing the scene in their stolen vehicle. The suspects are believed to be responsible for several additional commercial burglaries outside the city of San Jose. On July 24th at around 3 a.m., the suspects attempted to rob a smoke shop, but fled before police arrived. They attempted another burglary in Santa Clara, but Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office deputies who were in the area intervened. The vehicle fled, and deputies arrested 3 juveniles after the vehicle crashed. They were booked into the Santa Clara County Juvenile Hall.
A man known as Snake Burglar has pleaded guilty to stealing from 54 businesses. But under California law, he will be able to have a lesser prison sentence and be expected to be released within months.
Christopher Jackson is known as the Snake Burglar for his attempts to slide along the ground to avoid detection while breaking into businesses. On Thursday, he pled guilty to 54 counts of felony burglary. Riverside County Police arrested the 32-year-old in April. He already had 7 outstanding felony warrants for his arrest for prior commercial burglaries committed. Under a California code, which gives county jail inmates good time credit for time in custody, Jackson was expected to be released from custody after the sentencing. In a statement, Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron said, "It is unconscionable that a habitual offender like Christopher Jackson can steal hundreds of thousands of dollars from hard-working people, admit to it, and legally serve less time in jail than the time it will take his hundreds of victims to recoup their losses." Hestron has spoken out about the consequences of AB 109. Passed by voters in 2011, the law, known as realignment, allows defendants convicted of less serious felonies to serve their time in local county jail rather than in state prison. Jackson has been ordered to stay at least 100 yards away from the 54 restaurants, health clinics, medical offices, and beauty salons he stole from. He was sentenced to 7 months in jail, 12 years of mandatory supervision, in order to pay restitution of nearly $160,000 to his many victims. As part of his sentence, Jackson will also be required to complete a 6-month residential substance abuse treatment program and to wear a GPS monitoring bracelet for the duration of his 12-year mandatory supervision.
In a multi-million-dollar fraud incident, a family of 8 has been charged for defrauding California's beverage container recycling program. They brought in materials from out of state to reel in several $million.
Attorney General Rob Bonta and Cal Recycle announced charges against a family of 8 who carried out a recycling fraud scheme in Riverside County. Authorities estimate they have made about $7.6 million by bringing tons of out-of-state materials from Arizona for redemption. They are facing multiple charges including recycling fraud, grand theft, and conspiracy. In October 2022, the DOJ launched an investigation into a group of recycling centers in Riverside County operated by the suspects. Over the course of 8 months, the suspects smuggled 178 tons of aluminum cans and plastic bottles from Arizona and delivered them to undocumented lots in Riverside County. The suspects then unlawfully redeemed $7.6 million in CRV funds. Arizona does not have a recycling program that provides redemption value for bottles and cans. In a statement, Bonta said, California's recycling program is funded by consumers and helps protect our environment and our communities. Those who try to undermine its integrity through criminal operations will be held accountable. The Cal Recycle director also said, California will not tolerate fraud against our recycling deposit system that has kept nearly 500 billion bottles and cans from being littered or landfilled in our state. All suspects will be booked at the Riverside County Sheriff's Department jail. The California Beverage Container Recycling Program is administered by Cal Recycle. The program's CRV fee incentivizes recycling at privately owned centers with a 5 or 10 cent return on eligible beverage containers. California consumers subsidize the CRV program every time they purchase CRV-eligible bottles and cans in the state. Only material from California is eligible for redemption under this program.
A local substance use treatment nonprofit has served the area for over 50 years and is now expanding detox services in Silicon Valley after receiving a grant. NTD's David Lam hears more from the CEO of Pathway Society.
With a recent state grant of $6.4 million, a new withdrawal treatment facility will be constructed in Silicon Valley. Pathway Society's CEO Gary Montreza says they're using the funds to ramp up treatment efforts. Now, the nonprofit works solely with the county under Medi-Cal.
We're really excited about this. It's a big validation of our services. We're going to be able to build a new 30-bed detoxification facility for people in need of detoxification and substance use disorders.
It will be adjacent to the nonprofit's residential treatment center in downtown San Jose. Withdrawal management or detox capacity will be roughly doubled from 16 beds to 30 beds with 3 stories, one underneath the building. Residential treatment will increase to a total of 72 beds.
Substance use disorders and mental health touch everyone. Most people know someone who's suffered. It could be in your own family. But we definitely know it touches all of us because folks live among us. We're all in a community together. So it's a human condition.
Local officials urged Santa Clara County last year to declare a public health crisis for mental health and substance abuse.
Typically, if someone comes into our facilities, they'll be in detoxification for anywhere from 7 to 10 days. We hope that they'll transfer into residential treatment. They could be there for 30 to 60, even longer. And even when they get out of treatment, we have recovery residences that are available for up to 6 months. So the whole goal is to create a long treatment window to keep people stable as long as possible.
In recent years, multiple clinics have opened throughout California, including supervised drug consumption sites that have been met with controversy. Montreza says their treatment center is different.
The only drugs someone might use is what we call medication-assisted treatment. So a medication would be used concurrent to their treatment, but otherwise this is a controlled, highly supervised environment. We have a medical director, nurse practitioners, licensed vocational nurses, etc. So it's quite a different environment.
Now, speaking of environment, why San Jose?
San Jose is unique in that it's a very wealthy area, and concurrent to that is also a large disconnect in income.
He says people have suffered through the pandemic, face underemployment and homelessness, and that substances are used when people are in despair. But he's hopeful the new center can help.
And we're measured here in this valley on how we solve those issues for all people, not just certain groups of folks, but how do we address the needs of all of us here? That to me is a healthy community, and I want to be part of that type of effort, to leave it better than I found it when I was born here.
Construction on the new facility is expected to begin mid-September and to be completed on June 2024. In San Jose, California, David Lamb, NTD News.
Not sure about what to do this weekend? Well, we have a few ideas to help you out.
This weekend is your last chance to visit the 626 Night Market if you live in the Bay Area. With 250 plus food and shopping stalls, you don't want to miss it. The Venice Beach Games are taking place this Saturday, celebrating sports and fitness. There will be over 40 activities including free sport and fitness classes. Visit venicebeachgames.org/schedule for the times and details. The Guinness certified world's largest bounce house has inflated as part of its North America tour for 2023. They have family sessions and adult-only sessions, but this is the last weekend that it will be held in Berkeley, so get your tickets now.
All right, everyone, that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You will find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gunji World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. If you'd like to share a news tip or let us know how we're doing, we'd love to hear from you. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful weekend.